All right, I am stoked to talk to you guys today about one of my favorite spots that I visited in Japan. It's in Tokyo, in Shinjuku. It's Golden Guy. Oh, wait, I'm here alone. Oh, just clapping for myself. Okay, please clap at home so I don't feel embarrassed. Thank you. All right, Golden Guy, Golden Guy, Golden Guy. What to expect, what you should bring, how it kind of works down there so you don't feel intimidated because it is sort of an interesting area while you're walking down there, and I'll get more into this. It feels like a park almost, and then you get into these narrow alleyways, but we'll talk about all of that. I'm excited to share that with you. Let's take a look at the video that I posted about Golden Guy first, and then we'll talk more about the area, etc. That's beautiful shot of Shinjuku.
It's an area in Shinjuku that has around 200
Already a line at that place. It was like 8 o'clock.
These little bars that are just tucked into all of these little alleyways and nooks and crannies. And sometimes you have to climb crazy stairs to get up to the top of them. Imagine having a few cocktails.
This place was really steep. It's hard to see how steep it is in the video, but it's crazy.
These places are tiny. They seat 5, maybe 7, 8 people. Some of them have a small cover charge. Here she's making some food for us, some takoyaki. No one in here spoke English, and we just used Google Translate the whole night to laugh, make jokes,
Yeah,
have amazing drinks.
I'll play the rest of that video unedited so that you can see. You'll hear all the guys in the background chatting it up in Japanese. That was a super fun spot. I'm not going to name any of these spots because I don't want to blow them up, but you can certainly hit me up, DM me, and I'll tell you exactly where I went. But one of the fun things and one of the cool things about Golden Guy is exploring down there, right? It's not just like 5 streets there, 5 alleys. There's 2 levels. So the first level, there's a lot of bars on there, and then there's these kind of hidden spots like that one that I just showed where you go up that steep set of stairs and I could hear people laughing upstairs and something crazy going on. So that's what attracted me to that. And that's why I ran up to that spot. So first of all, where's it at? It's in Shinjuku. So the Shinjuku area of Tokyo. I was staying in Shinjuku, and I stayed in this little spot. Here, I'll show you a photo of it. I stayed in this spot here with the Godzilla head. Hotel Gracery. Beautiful 4-star resort, actually. Gorgeous and centrally located. I mean, look, we were right in the thick of it here, right near Shinjuku, Golden Guy, Piss Alley, the other place that I've done a video on, or Memory Lane, some places call it. So when you're in Shinjuku, Golden Guy is sort of off to the side. So it looks like you're walking into kind of a park area. You're walking down this trail and it kind of weaves left and right, depending on which area you approach it from, right? And then you just kind of turns into these little tiny alleyways, and they're packed full of either people or boxes. When you go there in like the afternoon, there's people carrying all their stuff that they're trying to load into these tiny bars. So you'll feel like you're not in the right area, because I did not, but trust Google Maps, trust Geo, and some of the videos that I'll show you so you can see that you're actually in the right spot. Because it looks like, here, I'll show you some more kind of behind the scenes stuff. So just walking, this is what you're walking through. And you hear how loud and crazy it is. This is what you're walking through, and then you kind of take a left turn, and then you're sort of walking on a path, and then next thing you know, you're in the area of Golden Guy. There's a little bit of signage, but not much. So what do you bring when you go down there? Make sure, well, in Japan, you're supposed to have your passport at all times. I don't know if you knew that, but the police can stop you at any time and make sure that you have a visa to be there. What's cool about having an American passport is that you get a 90-day visa without having to apply or pay for anything. So that's a benefit to carrying that American passport, but you're supposed to have it with you at all times because they can ask for it. And I'll tell you a story about when I was in Osaka at a bar. met a few guys, and then one of the guys got grabbed by the police there. And so I was very happy to have had my passport, even though they didn't really grab me or ask me anything. But I don't know why I was nervous. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just sitting there having a highball in Osaka. Nevertheless, Golden Guy, bring some cash. So most of these places, there will be a sign on the door that says how much the cover charge is. There will also be signs that say things like members only, no tourists. So don't go into those places, right? Those are the places to avoid. Like I said, this place is popular, or maybe I didn't say it, but this place is popular not only with tourists, but also with locals. So there are member-only bars there, or there are bars that just prefer to cater to the local clientele. Because, let's be honest, particularly the American crowd can get a little bit rowdy in there. There are some places that I went. Oh, this spot here. Let me show you a picture of this joint. Yeah, this guy's joint. He says he has a sign on the door that says no loud parties and no large groups. So again, pay attention. These are written in English because they're written for you and other English speakers that are going to be enjoying Golden Guy. So be respectful of that stuff. Now, bring some cash because most of these places, a lot of these places, I should say, not most of them, a lot of them don't take credit cards because they're just small, tiny 5, 6, 8 seat bars. And oftentimes the person running the bar is the owner of the bar itself. So they might not take a card, and oftentimes it will say on the door, again, cash only. But most of these places have a cover charge. Now, this is something that really was it was annoying me while I was there, right? I'd be sitting in a place having a great time. I'd hear, especially in that one that I was showing you where the stairs are going up. I'd be up there enjoying a beverage, having a great time, and I'd hear some people clomping up the stairs. And inevitably, it was a couple of Americans. Now, they would hold up a sign, the bartender, because she didn't speak English very well, that just said, hey, $1,000 cover charge per person. $1,000, 1,000 yen. Okay, if they say $1,000 cover charge, don't go to that place. But if it says 1,000 yen, let's do the math. That's about $7 at the time that I was there last month. So $7 or $8. And would you please give me a break? You've traveled literally, if you're from America, you've traveled across the globe, and you're going to cheap out now at this point over a 1,000 yen cover charge. It's just, think of it as an extra drink. Most of the drinks in there are 1,000 yen or less. There's a place that I went to, this joint, where, here, let's take a look at the video. This place, all the drinks were $666 because it was hell themed. So I don't know if you caught on the video up there, he's showing like Japanese horror films. He was playing Judas Priest Painkiller because I asked him to play that. One of my all-time favorite heavy metal, if we want to call it that, heavy metal type songs. So bring some cash because not all of these places take a card, although a lot of them do, and sometimes they'll just put that on the door as well. Credit card okay, or it'll say something like tourist okay, English okay. Those are all signs that you can pop in there. Now, I went to places that didn't have those signs on purpose because you're exploring, you're a solo traveler like me, you're looking for a story, an adventure, right? So like that one smiley face place I went to, which I ended up going back to again later because I had so much fun. You just wander into these places, say hello, say konnichiwa, and then use Google Translate or learn just a few phrases to order a drink, say thank you, please, etc. And, go along for the ride and see what happens. I had such a blast at that place. No one in there spoke English. And actually, let's show that video now too, where you can hear in the background that there's just a bunch of dudes behind me yelling. And I'll tell you a funny story about that too. Oh, who was that drunk idiot? So I spent several hours in there just using Google Translate, and the guys in that place got a kick out of the fact that for some reason my Google Translate, you can hit the play button and it'll actually say the words. Mine was somehow switched on to a woman's voice, and they thought that was the funniest thing ever to hear. A guy, American guy, all of a sudden speaking through his phone with a Japanese woman. Anyway, I changed it. That joke got old fast. But point being, most folks are open to having you there, and there are some places that you will go to where it's going to be full of tourists anyway. So I went to one bar where the gal next to me was from San Diego. The couple at the end of the bar was from New Zealand. The guys behind me were from Germany. And it was a fun time. And everyone was speaking English because the proprietor there also spoke English. So that was a blast. And there's so many different places to choose from. So, number one, bring cash. Number two, don't be intimidated by the cover charge. Big deal. There are actually also bars there that say no cover charge. So try to pack in there if you want, just to save $7. But I say, you're there. Why go cheap now? You know what? Have one less drink then if you have to go in and explore. But you're there to explore, to find new things, and most importantly, to grab memories and grab stories. That's what I do when I travel. I don't buy a bunch of crap. I try to gather fun stories. And to do that, you've got to be a little bit adventurous, right? You've got to be willing to go up a flight of stairs into a small bar. So, another thing to mention about these bars is that most of them that I went to allowed smoking. So you're in a tiny space and they allow smoking. If you're allergic to smoke, if you don't like smoke, well, first of all, good luck in a lot of parts of Asia and also where I live here in Las Vegas. I mean, I was watching the football game yesterday at a sports bar and everyone smokes in there. It's like we're still living in the 80s out here. And in Asia, they are unapologetically smokers, and if you're allergic to it and don't like it, then you need to find an outdoor space, or often those second floor izakayas have like a window that you can sit next to. So you can kind of get a reprieve from that type of stuff if you need it. But something to keep in mind, right? That there's going to be smoke at a lot of these places. Uh, another thing to Another tip, I guess, to keep in mind is that the trains stop running depending on the day at a certain hour, around midnight or 1 for some places. So make sure if you're not staying within walking distance like I was, that you know when the last train is to get back to where you need to get to, because they don't start running again until 5 a.m., most of them. So that's why when you see videos of people sleeping on the street, it's not because they're like completely out of control. I think a lot of times, and maybe I'm just making an excuse for them, but once the trains stop running, then if you're taking a train to where you need to get to go, you're stuck, right? So you've got to wait. So oftentimes you'll see people, if you're staying out late like I was, because those izakayas are open until 5 a.m. So they open until the trains run again, a lot of them. Although I was at one that closed early because the proprietor there had something going on the next day. But you can certainly take a taxi, and there's some buses that run as well. But that's another tip that I would give you, is just make sure you know when that last train is coming, so you're not stuck somewhere, in Golden Guy. Let's share a couple more pictures. Here's one of the other bartenders I met. Again, didn't speak any English at all. I'm not sure what kind of selfies we're taking because, at this point, it's been, I don't know how many quote unquote special drinks I had. So that's another thing you can ask for when you get to a spot is, hey, what's your special? What kind of drink do you guys have? That's kind of the house special or the favorite. This one was based on soju, which is a clear, similar to soju, similar name, around 20 to 24% ABV, so like 40 proof, a low proof, but the special there was mixed with coffee. cold brew coffee, and I am super, super sensitive to coffee, and I think I had about 5 of those, and my eyeballs were shaking, and I was out of my mind. But hey, you're there to have a good time. You're there to have fun. You know, throw back 4 or 5 specials. And also, you get to try something new, right? You drink the same thing every time. I tend to get in that rut myself, but again, we're exploring, we're getting stories. My heart was beating so fast. It was like, have you ever had a vodka Red Bull? It was like drinking those over and over. I had first had that when I came to Vegas a number of years ago, where I think I was walking past New York, and it said, $5 vodka Red Bulls. And I was like, vodka Red Bull? What the hell does that taste like? And it was a disaster. You need to be careful. Word of warning. Those things make your heart beat crazy, and then you're having a depressant on top of it. So have a good time. But bring cash in case they don't take a card. Check the signs and make sure that you're not, being the annoying American tourist going into a place where it says members only or no tourists. They just look, I agree with their signage. I think it's fine if you own the place to say, look, I'm here to cater to the locals, not to you yahoos. Because I think the people that I saw being the craziest, well, I shouldn't say that. The Americans weren't the craziest, but I could always pick out Americans from literally blocks and blocks away, because either they're talking too loud or they're just being obnoxious. The culture there is very much keep to yourself, keep quiet. That's one of the things I love about riding the train there. It's just quiet. There's no idiots talking on their phone. There's no people doing dumb stuff, playing grab ass next to you. Now, yeah, that's a generalization, right? I still saw some stupid things on the train, but I'm just saying, you're a visitor there, respect the culture. That's all I'm saying. So, Golden Guy, what did I miss? What suggestions do you have for people? Put it in the comments. I'll either reply to those or I'll add them in another video that I do about Japan. But I think it's a super fun place to explore. Oh, there's a bunch of food there too. I didn't even mention that. So you saw one of the gals was making takoyaki. A lot of the places will have like a sort of soup brewing, so that you can have a little bit of a snack. I was there a couple of times right when it opened around 7 p.m. So keep that in mind as well. Doesn't open until sort of later in the day. And some of those places have snacks. And I had some ramen that was actually pretty fantastic over there in Golden Guy. So thanks so much for watching. Again, travel safe. Please enjoy Golden Guy. Please enjoy it. Be careful down there. There's a lot of craziness going on in that area, which is why it's so fun. There's some police announcements that are going on telling you not to go with the solicitors on the street because you'll get ripped off or overcharged. Not so much in Golden Guy, but it's keep an eye on yourself, especially as a solo traveler, right? You don't have anybody watching your back. So my advice to you is to make sure that you've got a clear path home. You know when you're going to leave. You know which train you have to take, etc. Bring some cash, but don't bring all of it. Make sure you have your passport. All right. Travel safe. Golden Guy, one of my favorite spots. Thanks so much for watching. Click the like button and all that. And you know what? Subscribe to me. I would like it. I'd like it a lot. All right, guys. See ya.